Hey, so welcome to another podcast episode of the Soulful Side of Life with me, Ali Portee. I hope that you're well and having a good week. So, this week's podcast episode is with the renowned handbag designer Tyler Ellis, whose handbags and clutches have graced red carpets with A-list celebrities, carrying her bags to the Oscars or to the Emmys or to the Golden Globes and many other events like Cannes. And Tyler is just very humble and down to earth, approachable, warm, while she's also a savvy businesswoman. And her creative talents expand far beyond handbag design. She's got a keen eye for interior design as well, and she's just gifted with creative pursuits, and I'm grateful that she made some time to chat with me about starting her business, what inspired her to start her business. And she also talks a little bit about her father, the renowned fashion designer Perry Ellis, and she truly gets her creative pursuits from him. And so I just hope that you enjoyed this podcast episode, that you're inspired in some way to pursue your own passions in life. And yeah, let's get started with it. Okay, so Tyler, thank you so much for joining the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's so inspiring what you do, how you've been able to create a world-renowned handbag brand, and I'm just so excited to chat with you. Jumping right on in, I'm curious what little girl Tyler was like.
Very shy. Very shy. Um, I guess I consider myself today an introverted extrovert.
Okay.
And as a child, yes, very little child, definitely very shy. And then as I got older, you start making your friends and beating boys and all of that. But I loved horseback riding. That was one of my things. I had two horses growing up. That was a big passion of mine. I played volleyball. I guess middle school, yes, then I became a little more social and always loved my accessories. Handbags as a child, always, and shoes and jewelry, I think were my thing. So yes, just always accessories,
Yeah.
less about the clothing. Very LA dresser, very casual, but dress it up with your bags. Yeah, born and raised in Los Angeles. Spent my whole career there, and then I went to Boston University,
Wow.
and then moved to New York and back to LA and all over the place.
All over the place, yeah. Well, so I guess you were gonna do something either with accessories or horses. Was
Yeah,
that
and yes, horses, as I got older, they became less important, kind of more replaced by the boyfriend and this and that. So yeah, accessories remained constant.
I see. The boys took care of that.
Unfortunately, now I miss the horse life. It was so beautiful. They're such magical animals.
Yeah, I saw this meme that said horses are just big dogs like the terms of personality.
It's so true. One of the first ones I had, he was an ex-racehorse, so he was, big thoroughbred, beautiful, dark bay. But he would follow me around. I'd come and he was like a giant dog. He was the sweetest horse.
Yeah. They're such calm, their presence is amazing. And yeah, I need to get into that. I'd love to spend more time around them.
It's good for your soul too. It's
Yeah.
really calming, grounding. I wanna get our son into it. He's a little shy. We were just in Dubai, and he rode a camel for the first time,
Oh.
which was pretty cool. I had never been on a camel either, so that was
Yeah.
interesting. He was like, "I don't have to do that one anymore," but I think the horses would be a better.
Better, but yeah, I hear they're a
Yeah.
bit rocky.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I'm curious, what's the hardest part of not having a dad around? My mom lost her dad when she was 11, and I know that's such a hard part. So is there like any advice you have for women out there who don't
My mom brought my grandparents around, which was wonderful. So my father passed away when I was 18 months old. So I never knew him. So that loss wasn't there, which is, I can't even imagine how difficult that is at 11 as well.
Yeah.
But she always made a point to have either a male friend of hers or my grandfather. He would be with us for 6 months of the year, to have that masculine energy because she thought it was incredibly important. And I really appreciated that. And my grandfather, not, he didn't become my father, but that he filled that role for me. And I never felt weird or, like the child without the father. My mom made it very calming. And, it's just, it's life is life. Some children are adopted, some people have two moms, some people don't have a dad, so she
Yeah.
just made it normal for me. And I never, really thought much about it in the negative way, though of course missing that, I always wish I got to meet my father and that aspect. But in everyday life, she did a great job.
Do you feel that your love of accessories came from his creativity? Has he inspired you?
It's well, I would say definitely innate ever since I was a child. I guess my mom would tell me I would pick out unknowingly, the most expensive fabric. Like, I'd go up and I'd feel it, and she's like, "Honey, what what are you doing?" I'm like, "No, I like this one." And she's like, "Oh, what? You're your father's daughter." He had that luxury in his DNA, and it passed along to me. My mom, funny enough, she doesn't carry handbags, she carries shopping bags. She, big Zara shopper. She's not really into fashion at all, and we couldn't be more different in that way. I make her bags for Christmas. She's like, "Honey, they're too nice for mommy to carry," and she'll, occasionally, but she's got her shopping bag. And so I definitely inherited his eye for design and, and perfection. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you think he would say about your handbag brand?
Oh, I think he'd be excited that I went after what I loved and, proud to see his daughter doing something that she's happy doing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I can imagine because he was more so the fashion side and,
Yeah,
yeah,
the clothing.
exactly. The clothing side, yeah, and you've got that eye for accessories and, what you 2 might have been able to collaborate
I
to
know,
do.
right? Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I guess, that I did definitely learn from him is I watched all of his runway shows. I don't know if you've ever seen
A
one of
couple.
his, but, shows today are very fast and, it's just boom, 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 right? His are 45 minutes long. I think that
Yeah.
was I couldn't believe it, but his models were so happy. They were skipping down the runway, dogs. He had cheerleaders, and it was just such a positive energy. And I also feel today everyone is, can be so serious and take themselves, so seriously. And he just made fashion fun, and that's what I want to do. I want people to be happy, love the product, smile when they have their bag, and just feel beautiful carrying their handbag. And he wanted women to feel both beautiful, like, looking and feel comfortable. Because back in the '80s, it was the pencil skirts, the tight, and he was the
Mhm.
slouch and give the woman, let her feel good.
Yes, 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 with like a sporty kind of,
Yeah.
aesthetic, yeah, for sure. I find like when people move into their careers that those who are doing what they've been called to do, their passion, somehow the skills from that passion was innate in them as a child. So I'm wondering, are there any experiences from your childhood that prepared you for launching your handbag brand? Like, were you entrepreneurial from an early age? I know you said you had an eye for fabrics.
I was not. I actually, crazy enough, I didn't have my first job until I was in my 20s. I worked
Okay.
for Michael Kors. I worked as a sales assistant at the Madison Avenue store, and I also worked with him and his, creative director and partner, Lance Lapierre, behind the scenes for the New York, Fashion Week for his runway show, and there I learned so much about how incredible and important the details are. Watching Lance work with the models, they would come out and the dress would be beautiful, but he'd look at it, it needs a belt, like a little tiny cinch belt. The hem is just an inch too long. Those little changes make it just took it to the next level where,
Mm.
you could look at that and say, "Wow, that's a good looking outfit." But if you wanna be great, it's those tiny details. So that really stuck with me. And then working in the store, I have such an appreciation for salespeople. It is such a difficult job. First of all, dealing with clients, and that
Yeah.
can be ex very,
Different
very difficult.
personalities.
Yes, exactly. And the work they do, they're on their feet all day, and so that gave me a real, you know, from the from the floor down or floor up experience to understand the retail world. And then I decided, you know what? Let's go do it and jump in. And then it took me, I started the company in 2011, but I called it Tyler Alexandra, which is my middle name, because I felt I needed to earn my last name. If I just dove in as Tyler Ellis, I did not deserve it. I had to work. And so I didn't launch Tyler Ellis until 2017. So
Okay.
about 6 years until I found my current, I call it atelier, the factory, but I think we're more like an atelier. And that I started with them in 2014, and that's when my designs really were able to flourish because I
Gotcha.
got to work directly with the artisanal team.
Wow, which makes a difference, and I guess a designer should be heavily involved with the artisanal team.
100%. If you don't have access, it's so difficult and priority. Obviously, I'm not owned by, LVMH or one of the big companies, so I was
Yeah.
getting pushed to the back of the line and you can't do anything. So
Yeah.
finding this atelier really changed my career.
Made
Made
it.
my career, put it that way.
Gotcha. I know you said that you decided after some time with Michael Kors to launch your own thing, but was there an aha moment where you're like, now is the time, or some event that you're like, I'm doing this now, my own thing?
Th I guess there was no today, I just woke up and I had while I was working there, I was constantly thinking about it. I had been thinking about it since college. I was a communications major, totally different than what I do. My mom was in film and television, so I was like, "You know what? Maybe I'll try this. I'm from LA, that whole world." And I moved back to LA after college, and I said, "This is not for me. No, thank you. I'm leaving." I moved to New York, and then that's when I got the job at Michael Kors, and it was like, just follow, as I said earlier, accessories, like, you've always loved it. So, working there gave me, I guess, the confidence that the fashion world wasn't the devil wears Prada. I had this, fear, again, not ever having a job, that's something that I think is a little crazy.
Yeah.
My son will definitely have a job before that. So it gave me a confidence to say, "You know what? This is what I wanna do. I love it. Let's go after it. And if it fails, it fails, but you tried. So
Yeah.
go ahead and dive in." But no, I don't remember, like, the day that I, decided to
Decided to
yeah.
do it. What was the process like launching? So, if somebody wants to start a handbag brand, where do you start? Do you go get an investor? If you want to do it on your own? Y-
Well, I think that that's all personal.
Very
If you're able to do it on your own, great, and if you need an investor, I think it's much more difficult to get an investor if you have nothing to show.
Mm,
But, I guess someone coming from a design institute, you might have a little bit of a portfolio, but it's tough because it's such a difficult business and there's so much out there. So I think working for working under someone, learning because the business it's not all glamour, there's so much. The end result is beautiful, but getting in there, it's tough. I started in Paris and I was at a LVMH atelier, very, very small. They did all the runway bags, and I would say, "Can I just get my one sample, please, please?" And then I had missed the window. I was like, "Okay." So I moved over to Italy, and I worked with some of the larger factories, and again, I wasn't getting the love that you need as an emerging brand. You need someone to understand you and to really care. And then I finally got connected with the atelier that I purchased, and that is where I was able to get one-on-one time with them, sit there, be there, develop all my hardware. It made such a difference. It made
Wow.
really.
And I
It's a
guess
difficult thing to I'm this is not for everyone, and I've actually had a friend's daughter came, and I talked with her, and she was thinking about going in this direction, and she said, "You know what?" And, she I think she'll end up going down the marketing route. I was like, "What you're telling me, you have so many creative ideas and you love the bags, but I don't think that you actually wanna be a designer. I
mm,
think, that your mind is working in a different way." And she's like, "Wow, you're so right." But go out, meet people, talk, and again, work under someone to make sure it's really what you wanna do.
right. And I think, like, the pressure in the US is that we're told from such a young age, we need to know what we wanna major in. And
Uh,
you don't know at
that's
16 or 17 because
no.
you've a lot of teenagers have not had on-hand experience. That's why I wish high schools would bring back shop class or home
I
economics.
totally agree.
'Cause these are creatives type roles, and not everyone is going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a job that has definite outcomes. And, being able to have those creative kind of classes in a high school can kind of help young people be like, "Actually, I wanna be a creative. I may not know what I wanna do per se,
Do.
but it gets your brain the wheels going."
Thinking.
Yeah,
Exactly, and maybe had that been an option for me, I would have not done communications, and I would have gone a different way about it, ended up in the same place, but it might have been a easier path. I
exactly.
I totally agree.
Yeah, it makes us, I would say, start things a little bit later in life as Americans for some of us than we would have, you know, started, if we had had some hands-on,
Guidance,
guidance.
yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, okay. So when you're starting a handbag brand, I guess you have to go find a factory in
Yes.
Europe. That's
Yes.
probably like the first step. And then
Yes.
that's gonna take time because you've gotta find someone you can trust that can trust you, especially if you're still living in the US.
Oh, 100%. And
Yeah.
what I or someone who now is running my factory, she's amazing. Um, but there are people, they're brand agents, or I don't know the technical name of what they would be called, but they live in Florence, and then they help represent you. So she would, if I'm obviously not living here at the time, she goes to the factories and she manages, say, okay, are you on top of the production, blah, 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 blah.
Mm.
Which is, so finding those type of people is the most important thing. And then they connect you to the factory.
Yeah. And that can take years,
Oh,
I've heard.
again, it took me 3 years, or I guess, yeah, 3 years to find my current one, and before that, it was just, ugh, and I wasn't getting what I want, and it's really, you can get very unmotivated, It's just,
Mhm.
I get so
Yeah.
finding that, but everything good takes time, right?
Yeah.
You have
Yeah,
to.
everything good takes
Yes,
time.
everything good takes time, yeah, and then it will show you if you don't wanna do it.
Sure. You'll be weeded out or not.
It's just, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How important is craftsmanship when creating a luxury products?
The most important. Without craftsmanship, there is no luxury.
Yeah.
And there are so many brands that are calling themselves luxury with, marketing and packaging and to distract from the product. But I think the consumer is now starting to get smarter, and they're realizing, whoa, this wasn't really made in Italy. I can
Okay.
tell this was made over here, and which I'm happy about, because the craftsmanship, it's a dying art, and it's
Yeah.
sad, younger people are leaving Italy. They don't want to become craftsmen anymore. And
Mm.
I'm hoping that, we can champion them and wake up the world and have them appreciate what this craft is. There are very I don't I guess I've in my life, I've met 2 people that could make a handbag, an entire handbag themselves. No one, it's unheard of, and both of them have passed away. One of them was the old owner of my atelier, and he had trained many of the workers that are still there, and it's an art that they can't give to anyone now. He's gone, and once these people are gone,
They're gone.
their knowledge is gone. So it's just trying to keep it alive. Schools, very important to teach the craftsmen and internships. So we're starting to do internships for people in the Florence school and make it exciting. And you know we, they the artisans love to see when we have the celebrity. It's cool for them to know that they made these beautiful bags that are being carried on Hollywood's red carpets by Jennifer Lopez. And so I
Yeah.
think it's motivating to them. And but craftsmanship is number 1.
The dying art. Yeah, it's number 1. And I think with, like, it's luxury fashion is having a hard time at the moment
Mhm.
because I think, like, Gen Zs are spending on experiences, and I think it's hard to justify why somebody should buy luxury when it's being made in China, as we
Exactly, it's not luxury.
yeah, it's not luxury, and that's why, like, I feel like this past September of Fashion Month that you could see creative directors trying, like, really putting in the effort to do something new and really create craftsmanship pieces,
Because
because
people are getting smarter and they're saying,
yeah,
well, also the luxury brands were getting so high, and there's they people are smart enough to know that the wax canvas doesn't you know what I mean?
exactly,
And also,
exactly.
yeah, I appreciate that things are coming out and they're doing investigations and, having these workers underpaid and just
Mhm.
putting the logo on and made in Italy. I think I'm very happy that that's coming out.
Yeah, it's gonna force the luxury brands to do better, and
Right.
because the consumer, it has the power, and,
Mhm.
when the consumer is convinced, then the consumer will spend, and I think consumers wanna buy those one-of-a-kind pieces that they can pass down, and what you create are pieces that can be passed down,
Yeah,
so
thank you. That's my goal. It starts with my story, then it goes on to, the person who purchases it, and then it's on to the next, and so it's kind of like a never-ending story, the piece, and
yeah,
I love that.
for sure. I love the envelope shape that
Thank
of your
you.
handbag. Where did that idea come from? Were you looking at an envelope one day and you were like, "I'm gonna
Well,
do this"?
I actually designed that for the red carpet.
Okay, wow.
That was some of them just inspirations come from, anything random, but this one I work specifically for red carpet. I wanted something that could play the supporting role because the dress on red carpet is the star, right?
Yeah,
So in our satins and velvets, I wanted it to be simple, sleek, but just the perfect little companion. But then if we get into the Swarovski, and the more fun, then the bag can be the wow moment. But it needs to fit, beautifully in the hand, and also something that bother me a lot with clutches or bags in general is if you have something inside of it and you can see it poking, and it's kind of like a soft, flimsy, so this bag, it's still soft, but it's constructed in such a way that
yeah,
you're never gonna see anything, popping out, and then the beautiful hand stitching detail, the little metal tip on the end, it's an envelope, no one's reinventing the wheel, right?
right,
But
right.
it's those small little details, to me, again, going back to Michael Kors and watching that really make a difference on a piece, and then there's a nice little back pocket, it's kind of a hidden, so you can, put your, coat check or whatever in there, super easy access, and everything has a chain. But yes, sorry, that one was
Yeah.
designed specifically for the red carpet.
When do you have seasons or times throughout the year where you just focus on design and sketching or meeting with your design team, or you just think of something at any time and chat with your team?
Uh, yes, I don't think there is this. I mean, there are, the 2 main seasons, but for me, it's all year round. I love to travel, and we're here in Florence now, so it's, much easier than when I was in LA. We're going to Rome tomorrow and Milan, just London. There's so many places to be, and which is so inspiring. So you'll see something and I'll jot that down. Like, okay, I might not put it into production right away, but I have a sketchbook and it's there, it's with me everywhere I go. And then when it comes, all right, we're getting ready for production for, fall, winter. All right, let's bring out this guy and we'll put that into production. So it's kind of very fluid.
Yeah, gotcha. Um, what was your first big break where the world was talking about your handbags?
I guess it's been red carpet,
Okay. Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
We are very blessed to have a lovely following with the celebrity, and I know now that the younger people are saying, "It's inauthentic," and, whatever, but to me, it's important. These women have access to anything and everything, and they continue to choose my handbags. The stylists play a big role, but the stylists also have access to anything and everyone. So, uh, it means so much to me that they like the product, and I've never paid anyone. It's all organic. So,
Why is
I'm a
that?
big what which part?
That you don't do marketing, that you
To
don't.
pay?
Yeah,
I don't believe in it
mhm,
for it's just not part of what we have done, and we have, been lucky enough not to have to, so
yeah, yeah, it's like word
I
of
would
mouth.
be broke. Are you kidding?
Yeah, it is expensive, and when you create something of good quality, it's like word of mouth.
That
It
and
speaks for itself.
that's honestly the feedback we get from the stylists. It's,
Yeah.
the quality is there, and we have such an array of colors, so it's a great go-to. And again, I designed specifically that one bag for the red carpet, and that is the most carried bag on the red carpet.
Wow. What was the moment that you saw your first bag on the red carpet? Who was carrying it? How did it make you feel?
I was in Paris, and it was Emily Blunt.
Mm.
And it was really late for us, but, Paris, you eat dinner super late. In LA, you eat dinner at 6, right?
Yeah.
So I remember I have a person who handles celebrity for me in LA, and she sent me the photo, and back in the day when it was, old school phones, and you're just like, "Oh," and it was a grainy image, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, how exciting."
Yeah.
And Emily Blunt, like that, she's a really impressive woman, so I was thrilled, and I mean, every time someone carries my bags on the carpet, it means the world.
Yeah.
Again, they have access to anything and everything, and they continue to choose me, and it's really an exciting feeling.
Yeah, I can imagine. So now you're in Florence. Why the move to Italy?
We purchased my atelier,
Hey, wow.
so
That's a
now I'm
big
the
move.
proud owner of my atelier,
Okay,
which
wow. And are you liking Italy over or Florence over LA?
at the moment, born and raised in LA, my heart, I will always have a special place for it. Unfortunately, LA has been going through some tough times. The fire, I mean, awful. Ugh,
Yeah.
we still have our house there, and it's right there. We have so many friends who lost their homes. It's a sad time for LA right now, and I didn't leave obviously because of that, but it's just, ugh,
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here right now.
I'm going tomorrow, and
Oh, you
I mean,
are?
I know the fires happened earlier or in January, right?
Mhm.
February, January, and
January 7th, yes,
yeah, and I'm just intrigued to see like how it's changed. I might kind of drive out to Malibu just to get
definitely.
a feel
It's
and
really sad. It looks like
uh,
it's really sad. Yeah,
yeah.
it's ugh.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I mean, the community's already, getting together, and Rick Caruso's done a great job with the village and getting everyone back, but still, it looks like a bomb dropped,
Yeah.
and it's unbelievable. It really you're just ugh. I grew
I
up in
was
Palisades. I'm
saddened.
like,
I was
it's awful.
saddened seeing all of the news broadcast of it. But yeah, but you've got this wonderful new life in Italy, and the food's healthier, and the
Yes, we
people would you say, what do you call them? Florentine?
Florentine. Yes,
Florentine?
yes.
Maybe they're nicer than LA people. I don't know.
Very, very different. Italian, we have a 4-year-old
Mm.
child, and they're so about family and community, which we love. LA, it's very, you don't know your neighbor. You might
Yeah.
know their face, but you don't know them. Here, everyone is so inviting. They have you to their house. They just want to feed you and give you a hug. And I love that. And I love that for our son. And we take him out to dinner, and the prince is here, and
Mm.
he's
Yeah.
included, and they treat him like a little adult, which I appreciate, and he loves it. So
Yeah.
we are very happy, and he's going to learn Italian. I don't speak a word. One day,
Except for, like,
maybe.
the buongiorno and the
See, I can count to 10.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
but
might help you with your brand.
right. I know. I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah. Brain doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But my son will be our little translator, and yeah.
And Florence has always been this great, like, beacon for creativity, just going back centuries, and the leather makers come out of Florence, and,
It's one of
art.
the most beautiful places. The Arno, we live like a street off of the Arno, and you walk by, and it's it's you get mesmerized. It's unbelievable. It's not like anything you can ever see. I can't remember this word, but I heard this. I was like, this is crazy. It's literally a word defined real. It means that people they can't speak because of the beauty of Florence.
Yeah,
And I was like, that is so crazy. But I get it. You'll just hear there's opera in the background, just people, on the street singing or playing the piano, not a piano, but playing music, and you're walking by and you're looking at this beautiful sunset, and it's it's mesmerizing. It never gets old.
yeah.
It never gets old.
It's like Charleston for me. Charleston, South Carolina, it's got a
I've never
charm.
been. That's
Oh,
and
you
that's what I
missed it.
hear.
Yeah.
I hear that it's wonderful, and it's special. It's just yeah.
Yeah, for sure. A couple of last questions. I'm curious, I can imagine that you can't have a successful handbag brand or any brand without having boundaries. How do you confidently communicate boundaries uh, in any kind of thing you're doing with your brand, in meetings, with collaborations?
By boundaries, what do you mean exactly?
Like, what you are willing to do or not do,
Oh,
or what,
I thought you were going in a different yeah,
oh,
okay. No, no, I was like, boundaries, like my phone work time? Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Um, well, we have our core, DNA. It's who I am. We're a very genuine company, and it's me. So our collaborations, our partnerships are only with people that we don't have to worry about not aligning. I only collaborate with people who have the same appreciation for craftsmanship, who understand luxury, who appreciate luxury. So I'm lucky. I don't really have to compromise in that
that's
world.
good. Yeah, that's
Eh,
good.
That's one thing about owning your own business is you get to choose,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is it means the world, because if you get stuck, you're right, and you're in this situation and they want to do something and you don't, if it's not your business, you got to do it. It's not
yeah,
genuine and it's not
yeah,
authentic. And for me, I'm very lucky that everything gets to be genuine and authentic.
yeah. And that aids in the sales too, because I think the consumer can feel that.
Oh,
So,
exactly. You know who you are, and you're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
selling yourself out.
Exactly. Exactly. How have you engaged with your business, in your 20s, 30s? Do you do things differently, engage with it in various decades of your life, how you
Yes.
approach things?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was purely the design. That was it. Then I got a little bit older and aware. I have had some people work for me that we had to let go and was not great situations. So you learn a lot from that. And I would say to everyone who owns their own business or is endeavoring to own their own business, you need to understand every single aspect of what you do, from the back end of the website to the design to the accounting. Not to say that you have to be a master at all of this, but you have to know enough to make sure that no one is going to take advantage of you and that people are going to work their hardest for you.
Gotcha.
So today I've got my fingers in every part of the business, check in, and people know. And I think they appreciate that also because it
Yeah.
shows you're really invested and then they want to work harder for you.
And Brian Chesky talks about this, the co-founder of Airbnb, that he's got his finger in every part of the business. It's not micromanaging,
No. Mm-mm.
but he said when you are checking in on every part of the business, you get to take a vacation. You get to not be
'Cause you
stressed. And
exactly, because you're confident that the people are doing their best for you.
yeah,
I
yeah,
I totally agree, and just yeah, for anyone starting their own business, just I know it sounds strange, but you'll get there and you'll understand.
yeah, yeah. Last question. So, is there anything new coming out of the brand for next year?
We've got a fun collaboration with the one and only in Dubai,
Nice.
and I'm very excited. That's been in the works for a long time, and it's finally coming to fruition, which we're very happy about. Another collaboration, I can't mention the name just yet, but it's a international couture gown designer, and we're doing bags with them, which they are stunning. The embroidery process that they're doing, I'm like, oh, in awe of how these people, it's incredible. So we've
Oh,
got a
I
couple
can't
fun
wait to see them.
collaborations that I'm I can't wait to see them either.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Well, Tyler, thank you so much for giving of your time to chat. You're inspiring and you've just got this wonderful eye for detail and design, and not just in handbags. When I was at your home in LA, just how you've designed your home, it's spectacular.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. It's so lovely to catch up. It's
Yes.
been great chatting with you.
For me too. For me too. I hope that you enjoyed this podcast episode and that you have found a soulful connection to the conversation. God bless you, and until the next episode, go bless somebody else.